Hello everyone, we are going to discuss about upward communication. From the name itself, upward communication denotes like someone coming from some decision or communication coming from the down. Down in the sense, superiors will be the just about the subordinates, and the subordinates will be the down category. It doesn't mean that they are the very lowest. Maybe people are working below them. Anyway, from the down, from the subordinates to the supervisors, and from them to a group of directors, and finally to MD, the managing director or the management team. That communication is known as upward communication. For example, it can be any suggestions, any reports. Likewise, these all coming from the down to the upper level is upward communication. So in general, upward communication occurs when information flow upper the hierarchical form subordinates to supervisors. It can be named as that. Now, for examples mentioned, I can say performance report. Performance report, it usually done prepared by the lower management team. Lower management team may be a group of supervisors, and it is passed to for review, and the review was done by the upper management. That is an example. Another example is suggestion boxes. Suggestion boxes you can see many places. Maybe in government offices, they used to keep a suggestion box, in the sense any arrangements or any help you are suggesting to the easy working of that office. Another common area you can see is maybe in a restaurant or a canteen. They used to keep suggestion boxes regarding the cleanliness they can make, or the dishes which may get more attraction. Likewise, suggestion boxes used to keep. Another upward communication example is employee satisfaction survey. The survey used to take from the subordinates, and they are taken to the supervisor and submitting to the management team. It is a form of performance report, the same style. Another, meetings with an immediate manager, that is an upward communication. Upper level management, if the meeting is done with the immediate management or manager, it will be conveyed to the upper management team. That is an upward communication. Now, there are some advantages of upward communication. I can say development of plan. So if someone want to make some developments to the existing policies of the organization, maybe example, if that is a condition, the information can be collected from the subordinates, and they play the important role to help the development of planning of the organization, because they know the problems. They are facing the most of the problems, because from the upper level they can just watch or supervise the work was done by the subordinates, so they can play an important role in development of some plans. Now, providing suggestions and opinions, same suggestions and opinions, same condition, because the subordinates take the necessary suggestions and opinions they can give. Maybe for example, in a company, if some arrangements for the easy working of some product has to be done, the subordinates only know, the other managers just view or watch, so that suggestions and opinions can be provided, and that is an advantage. And if these things are done, it will motivate the employees generally, so that motivation to the employees occur in the upward communication, as the system allows the lower level staff to express their attitude or opinion to upper level staff. It is another case is providing constructive suggestions. All employees are supplied with constructive and important messages that can help to implement the goals or objectives. Same, if this motivation is done, it can provide the thinking more positive in connection with the subordinates thinking, and it will make the company to reach to the goals or objectives which they have already made. Another one is advantages, good labor management relationship. If the management is ready to hear the subordinates, generally what happens is that the subordinates will be more happy and a good relation occurs between the labor and the management team. So information is invited from lower level executives and employees, and on the basis of this information, top executives makes decision. So good relation occurs between the subordinates and the bosses. Providing feedback, the subordinates' reaction is returned to the superior in this communication system. Otherwise, if something is asked to do, and if the feedback is not coming, the superior or the management team doesn't know what is the subordinates feed regarding each decision. So top level management can decide what to do and what not to do, clearly understand and followed. Now creating favorable environment. If all these things are happened, if the subordinates are very happy and there is a good relation with the management, then there is a favorable environment between the all employees and the organization. So upward communication helps to develop a favorable working situation in an organization by creating a good relation among all employees. Promote harmony. The upward communication creates a friendly environment in the organization, which leads to a peaceful and harmonious relationship among the subordinates and supervisors. This already happened if there is a favorable environment among the management and the subordinates. And next advantage is decision making. For any decision to make, the management has the right to take the decision, and top level executives or supervisors need much information before taking a decision, and this is done with the help of subordinates. If the subordinates supply this information regarding any particular issue through the help of upward communication, it will be more good to take the decision. Next is developing creative and innovative ideas. If everything favors, if the subordinates and the supervisors, including the management, have a good relation and things are going good, obviously there will be birth for innovative ideas, and these innovative ideas will help the company or the organization to grow more. So upward communication facilitates easy access of employees or subordinate to the supervisors in providing necessary constructive suggestions and opinions about the work related issues of the organization. Next is facilitating collective decision. As this is a participative decision taking, or it's a collective decision taking, because of the nature of it, its communication allows the subordinates to convey their feelings, their difficulties, constructive suggestions and opinions, and the work related in the decision making process. So this helps the company more. Next, we are considering the disadvantage of upward communication. For anything, if there is an advantage, a disadvantage will follow the advantage. So the disadvantages are changes of information. In upward communication, subordinates may change their accurate information. If before reaching to the top level, the information passed from the subordinates to supervisors may change before reaching the next level. So if something is passed from the subordinates, and if the supervisors understood in a different way, it is passed to the next higher level in another way. So to the top level executive cannot take an accurate decision. Unwillingness. Sometimes the subordinates don't send the information to their supervisors willingly. So the communication system may be disrupted. If some suggestions are asked, mostly the culture happening in the organization will be they won't give any suggestions, even if there are upward communication process, or they will simply give some suggestions without much interest. So the communication system will get disrupted. Fear of inefficiency. The main problem of upward communication is fear to supervisors. They will just make the supervisors happy. So this will make the teamwork more problem. So generally supervisors make a question about the employees' work position efficiency. Many employees fear to communicate and share their ideas, constructive suggestions and opinions with the supervisors. So if this is the condition, the upward communication is a failure. Indiscipline. Sometimes employees communicate directly to the supervisors by avoiding proper channel. This is a big issue which may happen in the upward communication. Here disciplines are not properly maintained. Now next is bypassing. This is same as related to the indiscipline. In this process, sometimes the workers directly approach the topmost authority because they have that privilege to give their communication from down to up. So they will give directly their suggestions or bypassing their immediate boss. They will go to the top level. This is harmful to any organization. Next, flattery. In order to convince the superior bosses, subordinates can take the help of flattery, and for this reason, subordinates may conceal the true and provide information which is incomplete to the top level. Next is lack of initiative. So generally, if this upward communication is the process happening in the organization, the subordinate is reluctant to take the initiative to communicate something for a different reason. Next is risk of distortion of messages. In upward communication, subordinates willingly distort the message because they fear if they tell the original fact to their bosses, they may face some problems. That happens because sometimes top level management may be asking what is the condition of some product if it is a product making company, and if the real situation is that it is not yet done, the subordinates may give a wrong information that it is already done. So this makes some problem. This fear to tell the truth make some problems. Next is delay. An important limitation of upward communication is the long and slow movement of information to the higher authority. This most of the people used to face, because if we say to the superior, he or she may think if that person present their subordinates problem to the management level, will it affect the superior's position? So after thinking all this, before reaching the top management, it takes a big delay. This usually happens. Supervisors' negligence. Sometimes the top level executives discourage the upward flow of information and neglect the constructive suggestions and opinions about the work related issues of the organization. This also makes some problem with the upward